Yeah, hello. Good evening, everybody. Um, my name is Rudi. I work at Naturalis. It's a natural history museum based in Leiden. I've been working there for quite a while, more than 10 years. For tonight, I have some topics. First, a short introduction about Naturalis, um, and then two use cases where we used ClickHouse for. The first one is to store application logs, and the second one is to explore biodiversity data. So in Naturalis, there's three main topics that it is about. We have a museum, um, and we do scientific research, and we have a large collection. Yeah, the museum was founded in 1820. It's called the Rijksmuseum van Natuurlijke Historie, so the Natural History Museum. This is in the center of Leiden. 5 years ago, we moved to a new building, and it looks like this. It's a really nice big building. So the museum is on this side, and on the other side, we have the offices. Yeah, we have really cool animals in our collection, like this one. This is a Triceratops. We actually have a new tentoonstelling, a new exhibition thing, with a whole bunch of these creatures. It's called the Kudde. So if you have time and some time left, you can visit Naturalis in Leiden, not far from here. Yeah, as I said, we also do a lot of research, and that's all about biodiversity. So we collect a lot of data about the status of the biodiversity in the Netherlands. So is it biodiversity declining, or what's happening with it at different locations? As I said, there's also we have a large collection. There's a tower next to the museum that stores 43 million objects, and you can, on the picture, you can see a part of the materialized collection. Yeah, we first heard about ClickHouse when we were in Brussels in 2023. Anybody know Boston? Okay, great. And Alexi gave a talk about ClickHouse, and we were interested. So in Naturalis, we have a policy regarding software that we use, and the policy is open inless. So we use open source software if possible. So we use a lot of Linux, Ubuntu Server, for example. We use OpenStack. We use Postgres, and ClickHouse also ticks the box. Yeah, the first use case that we use ClickHouse for is storing application logs. In the past, we did that with Elasticsearch. Yeah. But we moved to OpenTelemetry to collect the logs, and we store them in ClickHouse. So the applications, they send their logs to the hotel collector, OpenTelemetry hotel. And then from there, using the ClickHouse exporter, we store it in a ClickHouse cluster. That cluster is running on our own OpenStack environment. We have a couple of racks at a data center here in Amsterdam, actually, at NGINX, and that we run our own OpenStack cluster. And this ClickHouse cluster runs on Docker. So yeah, this is a typical table that we that's used for maybe you recognize this. So we store all the logs in one table, OTA logs, and from there, using materialized view, we create smaller tables grouped by topics. So, for example, NGINX logs, yeah, they are stored in a separate table to make the queries fast, and you don't have to go through the whole table. And then in Grafana, we create dashboards like this. So this is about request times of the NGINX, a couple of NGINX servers. In ClickHouse, you can also use all kind of cool conversion functions. So you can use IP addresses, and then you can filter on them. And some more user agents. So that works very great, very nice. The other use case for ClickHouse is exploring data that is collected by Naturalis, but also other biodiversity centers. All the data that we collect, Naturalis is collecting a lot of data, like I said, about biodiversity. We use like cameras in the field, we use radar, we use sound recordings to measure at the location what's happening there, how many insects are there, and we want to measure that over longer periods so that we can get insights in what's the status. So yeah, all the data is stored, sent to GBIF. It's a global biodiversity information facility that holds biodiversity data from a lot of organizations like Naturalis. So there are like 3 billion records in there at the moment. They share their data in the registry of Open Data on Amazon. Then the really cool thing that you can do with ClickHouse is you can do a query directly on the S3 bucket. So with this simple query on the top, you can download all the 3 billion records into a ClickHouse table. And it takes around 2 hours to load the data. And size on disk, if you have done this, is like 340 gigabytes, and there are 50 columns in this data set. And the goal that we had is to create a dashboard that looks like this, so that we can have an insight on what's in there, what organizations deliver their data, and what is how many species are there in certain areas, and how many objects were collected or observed. And for that, we use the H3 geospatial indexing system. It's created by Uber. And they basically divide the surface of the Earth in hexagons, like you see on the image, in different resolutions. And for this use case, we use resolution 2. Yeah. So 3 billion records is a lot of data to go through. So we use aggregations to make it fast enough for a dashboard. Yeah, so we use the AggregatingMergeTree from ClickHouse to store the location, the year, and the unique count of the various fields. This is the approx topK function of ClickHouse that we use to get the top, like the top 1,000 scientific name or recorded by. Yeah, so these are a couple of functions to basically aggregate the whole data set into a smaller data set so that it's so that it can be used by a dashboard. Because in a dashboard you want to have like sub-second response, and you don't want to wait seconds to get or even minutes to get a result. I can show you what it looks like. So this is the dashboard we made. You can move on the map, and on this side you can see the number of objects per year. And down here you can see where the data set comes from. So this is observation.org, for example. That's a partner that we work with, waarneming.nl. And then like the dark green is a high count, and the light really gets is a low count. So you can get an insight in counts per region basically. So you can zoom out. And this is from the last 50 years. You can see a lot of work is done in Europe. Like observing biodiversity, and also in the Northern America. You can zoom in and get more details. So that you can also click, and you can see that between 1975 and 2000 and now, so there's like 50,000 records added. So that's nice. Another thing, you can also switch to uniques. So this is about scientific names in an area. So the darker the hexagon, the more unique species were found in that area. You can also change the time frame. So you can do sort of time travel. So yeah, that's nice to get insights in what happened in certain areas. And here at the bottom, you can. This table is a result of the querying the base table. So that's the table where the 3 billion rows are in. It just gets apart based on the time and the location that you select. And sometimes you can also find like some fun things. So go to a nice and warm place. Hawaii. See what happened there. No need Naturalis. So for some reason we have like one bird that was collected by Captain Cook. I have no idea how it got to Leiden, but it did. And you can just open this. This is one of the websites of Naturalis. It's called Bioportal. And then at the bottom you can see the image of the bird, and you can even see it moving. Yes. A lot of specimen at the collection of Naturalis are digitalized. So we have pictures and moves, which like this. I don't know what they did. I only saw this afternoon. So, it's like an MRI or something. I don't know. Yeah. So this is very nice. Yeah, this runs on our Ubuntu virtual machine on our OpenStack cluster. Each machine has 48 CPUs and 128 GB RAM, and it runs on Docker. And then the performance is great, basically. So we use it to explore the data, check data quality, and discover trends, and we derived data sets. Yeah, this is an example of data that I found that's incorrect. This is something that was collected 250 years ago. And using the Explore dashboard, I noticed that this was located in northern Africa. But if you zoom in on the sheet, you can see that it was collected in Madeira. So I'm going to send an email to the Natural History Museum in London to tell them. I tried this afternoon, but the submit button didn't function. The dashboard that you saw was built using Dash. Dash and Dash leaflet. That's where you can plot the map with, and Dash Mantine are the drop down menu and the table and all the graphical parts. And this was in the news recently about the Dundalk wilp. It is declared extinct. Very sad news. So I was interested in what can be found in the data set about this bird. So we should be here. Oh yeah. So yeah, that's also nice about ClickHouse. If you have like a data set that's big and you want to only a part of the data set based on a certain term or a string, it's you can create another table derived from the main table with a easy select statement. So here I'm loading here. I'm creating a table that's called GBIF Dundalk wilp, and this is the scientific name of that bird. Numerous difficult word. So this is running at like 122 million rows per second, as you can see here. So within 20 seconds, it went through the 3 billion records to create a subset, and then using that subset, next. You can do the same thing as you've seen before. You can plot the areas where this bird was found between 1835 and like 1995, because that was the last year that bird was seen in the wild. I found this. This is the last picture of the Dundalk wilp. So, that's it.